Welcome to the LAGGSPIKE podcast. I'm your host, Mike Chalice. With me, as always, we have the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
Mr. Gloom and Doom himself, Sam Landry.
Fuck you all.
And the
Really
boss
getting
of
that out there
bosses.
early.
Just going to get it out there that we're allowed to swear now, apparently. The boss of bosses, Josh Quigley.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Has been happy for too long.
Yeah. How's it going there, guys, in general?
Good. Fantastic.
Yeah.
We got a great show planned for you today. We're going to go over, obviously, some big reveals like Battlefront. We got
Battlefield.
Star Wars Battlefield.
Okay. I made promises about this pen that I'd like to keep.
We're going to go over Guitar Hero Live, which was announced pretty much right after the podcast, the day after. Heroes of the Storm gets an official release date, and we're going to our topic this week. One of the questions we got from one of our listeners is going to be if we've ever actually experienced emotions in a game, but we'll go over that later. Before we get into what we've been doing this week, though, we are going to talk about Gamer Sport Gamers, which is a page on our website that allows you to fill out an application on that part of the website, and we will add you if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Twitch channel, if you have a website that's gaming related or a podcast that's gaming related. We would love to have you as part of the family. It is hopefully a community that everybody is trying to help each other out. Obviously, by collaborating with other YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff, it definitely helps your chances of breaking through this incredibly saturated industry now. It's definitely not easy to get noticed. We are doing our best to do it on our own. We also feature 4 people on the website every single week. We are sort of just going in order to try and help people get a couple extra subscribers a week. And this week we have Gamer Hub, which is a YouTube and Facebook channel. We have, I don't know how to say this, but Habalol, which is a YouTube and Twitch channel. Hug Jacket Gamers, which is a YouTube and Twitch channel. And Feel the Vibes, YouTube and Twitch channel as well. Check those out on the main page of the website, and click on them. One thing I also wanted to mention too, guys, is if you are part of that and you use the hashtag #GamerSupportGamers, we will do our best to retweet any sort of new videos that you're trying to promote. Don't saturate that hashtag if you can with just the same video over and over, because we're not just going to retweet everything in there. But if you want to promote something new or something cool, then please feel free to use that. As well as anybody who is a Gamer Sport Gamer, go through everybody else's and try and subscribe to them, and they'll in turn subscribe back. That's sort of the community we're trying to create, I think, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And the next we're going to let Matt go over, which is something that we've been trying to promote, which is Extra Life. It's a great fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Network. Matt, why don't you go over that?
No more eyebrows.
We're over that.
We're not doing this
We're
again.
not getting into that.
So, Extra Life is a fundraiser we're going to be doing in November. Anyone can join our team by going to our Extra Life page. If, as a collective team, we raise $20,000, the man with the beard will become the man without the beard. I will also pick my head and keep my eyebrows.
Chester?
Yep.
Oh, Chester.
Anything?
I don't think we need to. I don't think we
hair.
need to get into that.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm trying to sweeten the pot a little.
I don't know that.
$20,000, guys, seems like a really, really high amount, but it's not. Because you do not need our permission to join our team. Obviously, there are teams with hundreds of people already on them. If everybody raises the $100, which is recommended, that is actually quite a bit of money, and you don't need a lot of members to hit that goal. For anybody local that listens to the podcast, which I know isn't a huge number, but we are going to have a table at the Fredericton Gaming Expo here in New Brunswick. We are going to be raffling off a basket as well, which is going to be filled with all sorts of gaming goodies. And all that money will go to the Extra Life fund that we're trying to do. But please, if you don't feel that you can raise enough money, then you don't need to join either. You can go to our page and you can donate towards us. The best part is that if you have a hospital that you want the money to go towards, if you become a member of the team, you can choose that hospital. You got to understand that this is one of the best causes that you can raise money for. It's kids helping kids, and it's also a really great way to make sure that gamers get the positive rap that they deserve, as opposed to what is normally portrayed in the media. Right?
Yeah.
Last but not least, our swag shop, which is the easiest way to support us at gaminglag.com. You can click on shop, or you can go to gaminglag.spreadshirt.com. It's something that we've partnered up with them. It allows you to buy some really cool swag instead of just donating, which is obviously you just give us money. This is you actually get something in return, and they're actually high-quality products and really good website. Absolutely. All the proceeds go to us in order to keep this going.
The lights flickered yesterday.
Yeah. Wow, guilt trip. That actually didn't happen. And if it did, it's the power company's fault, not theirs.
Really, there was our one shot, and you took it away.
Yeah, well, there you go. So definitely do that, and if you can, we definitely appreciate it. Now, what have we been playing? Anybody can jump in who wants to go first. Why don't we start with, actually, I'm going to say Josh, because he's got a short list.
I do, again. I need to start getting a longer list. I've played Destiny a couple of times with you guys. We'll go through that on Thursday.
We'll go through all of our antics in Destiny on the Last Word podcast, which happens on Thursdays.
Played some Helldivers, which had all kinds of antics today.
Yeah.
We were really excited about it at APC.
Yeah.
And
No.
It's not good because it kills you all at the same time.
Well, you can all watch how that played out for us.
Yeah, the Let's Play will be up later this week. I think we do Let's Play Helldivers on Wednesdays.
I think.
Yeah, I think.
And then I played some Dragon Age Inquisition and thought I was going to progress the story, and then spent several hours mining stuff because that's what you do. And then I realized the stuff I mined makes gear significantly worse than what I'm wearing.
Yeah,
so that was productive.
I went over this last week. The same thing happened to me when I tried to go back into it. Any fantasy RPG that's that large, when you get back, you spend so much time trying to figure out where exactly you were. And then when you actually get going in the game again, you're just like, oh my God, I just spent 3 hours doing stuff I didn't need to do. And yeah.
Dragon Age Origins is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And
Inquisition's good. It's just
good.
I predicted it as soon as I played it. I was going to put 20 hours into it, and then I was going to be like, okay, I'm done with this. Also, why I'm scared of The Witcher 3, but I think The Witcher 3 is a little bit better combat, it looks like, so we'll see.
It's a different style for lots of things to do.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I like the fact that it's not control a party; it's control you.
Yeah, I like that idea as well. I don't think, as much as having a cool party is good, I don't necessarily think I like having to control all those different people, even though most of the time I don't, but...
I read something online saying that Witcher 3 puts the word monster back in monsters. Like, they're terrifying when you meet them.
We're going back to what was that game?
Yeah, click, because I'll know.
Yeah.
That's how that works. On PlayStation 3, where the monsters were actually terrifying at night.
Fear?
No, it was a. You know what? Never mind. We're gonna move past that.
Silent Hill?
Okay.
No, it was a fantasy.
I can tell you
RPG.
Bloodborne puts the monster back in monsters, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
there's definitely that.
Matt, what have you been playing, buddy?
Some Destiny. Finished the second heist.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
third heist. I don't know. Third heist in GTA. Played some Helldivers. Played some Diablo. Didn't actually get a lot of time to play games this week. So, but Diablo had a little bit of a shout out at the beginning of it. A little bit of,
Yeah.
and during Diablo, we actually we streamed it and had a lot of people come in. Visit,
was a lot of
talk,
fun,
and it
actually.
was a lot of fun.
People asking where Mr. Gloom... No, probably not at all.
No, we told them.
We
at the
told them
beginning.
as soon as they jumped in.
Yeah.
The stream was actually really fun, especially thanks to everybody who came out who was actually talking and lively. That makes the stream much easier. Obviously, these people that have thousands of people watching them at a time, pretty easy to stay constantly talking and active when you have a million people to talk to. But we only had, I think, 6 or 7 people watching us. They're all fantastic people, and they were all very lively and making cracks at us and almost causing us to die because we weren't paying attention.
We were reading what was on the screen
Yeah.
instead.
We're like,
I
what
needed
this
that
person
last
say?
week.
Yeah, yeah,
that excuse?
yeah, yeah.
No, that utility.
Yeah. Sam, what have you been playing this week, man?
Well, I rebuilt the PC.
Yep, you got the
Yep.
PC built. That's awesome.
Yeah. Stressful. Thought I broke something, but I didn't. We're good. So played some more Heroes of the Storm.
Yep.
Yeah. played
Great
some
game.
games in that. Going to be playing GTA 5 on that. Also found out some interesting information that my keyboard is going to flash blue and red when I have 5 stars. Because it's an LED keyboards. That's cool.
Okay.
Played GTA 5 on Xbox One. So a little bit of Destiny. Kind of was just there during...
Crota Raid. We
Yeah,
just
you
jumped
were
in and did it
present.
really quick. Yep.
And then a lot of Final Fantasy 14.
Cool.
Hitting that up again, getting ready for the expansion.
Heaven's Sword.
It's actually, what time is it?
It looks
We can
pretty
finish
good.
This podcast pretty quickly. Come on, I got some.
All right.
Some stuff to
What I've been doing this week, I did actually quite a bit of Destiny because the other games that I played leading up to that was I played a lot of Titan Souls, which is actually a hard game. Did a Let's Play and streamed that as well. That was really fun. Very, very special game. Very Shadow of the Colossus meets Zelda. That's an accurate statement. It forces you to sort of make these impossible shots with your one arrow that you get. Played some Bastion, finished that the story mode up. That's a really cool game as well. I liked it. Still like Transistor a little bit more, but definitely like Bastion as well. Played some Hearthstone on my phone.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I did that too.
That they had that released, and played some Helldivers and Diablo. Obviously, the Helldivers when we did the Let's Play earlier together, and the Diablo when we did the stream, which was great. Let's move on to the news, guys, because we got a lot of Star Wars Battlefront to go over.
Battlefront.
We will call it the appropriate name. It is Star Wars Battlefront, and it got revealed in a big way at the Star Wars Celebration, which I believe was in Anaheim. And we got lots of stuff. So first thing about Battlefront is it's going to launch November 17th, and pre-orders are now already available.
Woot woot.
If you pre-order, I think you get the Battle of Jakku early, which is the
1 week early.
1 week early. I think that's in here as well.
Yeah.
It's going to have up to 40-person matches, which is pretty cool. I think that's a safe number because obviously, like traditional Battlefield games, and I only refer them to them because DICE is making it, normally have up to 64 people, but it doesn't necessarily work very well on consoles. So I think 40 is a pretty safe.
Well, I think with them wanting to hit that 60 frames per second,
Yeah.
making the matches a little bit smaller makes...
And not having a couch you can round around, you know, like bugs is another good key feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't wanna have.
I think they're probably taking the adequate amount of time to make this game. I don't think... I think they know the amount of problems they'll cause if they if they have a bad launch or they screw up the game so badly that because you're also screwing up Star Wars, like, and you also have a reputation for launching really bugged games. That's a big deal if you screw that up because you're gonna. There's a lot of. I think a lot of people like Star Wars. I think that's a thing.
I hate it. Terrible.
Yeah.
Series movie.
Yeah, that's a sarcastic
And,
remark.
Spaceballs is way better.
Do you have
Who
any-
wants to
do
be
you have
my
any thoughts on
alibi?
that? 40 man matches. Do you think that's a good number, Matt?
I think 40 is a good number. I
Yep.
think I think with 40 you could actually get some good battles going on.
I think it's a good number. I really do think that like 20 on each side in the large scale maps, I think that's good. No campaign mode, which is making a lot of people a little bit angry, but we'll have a 2-player co-op online or offline, which is good because that's not traditional of Battlefield games other than a normal campaign. They will have structured missions, though, which I'm assuming is going to be a single player, play the famous battles from the Star Wars lore. Like, obviously, there's going to be a Battle of Hoth, which I'm expecting to be epic, which is almost true to every game that has a Battle of Hoth.
Yep. It sounds like it's very much a remake of the original Battlefront game versus going the route of
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
which Battlefront 2 put in a lot of really great stuff
Yeah.
that I'm sorry to see go, but it is what
They
it
are
is.
putting in the heroes thing, though.
The Heroes thing is
They're just not going to
good.
have a traditional like campaign where you're actually doing something. I think you said it was like with the 501st.
Yeah, it was really
Legion.
following the 501st and how they got built, and like there was a lot of good actual lore embedded in that game that if you took the time,
Yep.
What's considered canon anymore?
Yeah.
would you just? I wouldn't go down that path.
Yeah.
That's
You will be able to play single player against bots, which is good. So you can get some practice in, or if you just don't feel like playing with online, because let's face it, online multiplayers can be very tainted with some very awful people.
Interesting things about my mother that I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly, which is typical. It's going to include female stormtroopers.
Interesting.
I guess that's their way of trying to make sure that they're being fair. But
Are the voices just gonna be different? It's honestly like
they'll probably have different uniforms or something. Who knows?
yes, the battle armor will be a little more slimming. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Pre-order and as I mentioned earlier, if you pre-order the game, you will get the Episode 7 DLC free 1 week early. That'll be the Battle of Jakku, which is the planet that everybody's seen in the Star Wars trailers. That's not Tatooine. Everybody thinks it is. It's not. It's Jakku.
surprisingly, there's a lot of desert planets.
Yeah.
in the Star
entire
Wars
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not just
Not just one.
yeah.
And there's not only one snow area either. No space battles.
And I'm done.
So that's a sore topic for people. A lot of people like battling in space. The only thing that I'm going to say, and then I'll let you go on your whatever you want to say about this topic, that means there's not going to be a Death Star fight. That sucks. I love the Death Star fight. That's probably one of the best. That's probably the best space battle
now,
you can get.
having said that, since the Death Star is the size of a moon, you could argue that it's an atmosphere fight.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm holding. I got that one shred of hope.
But they could, they could make it like that, I guess, instead of making it. It would have been cool if you had to fight outside the Death Star.
It would
and
be
then
the
slowly
it
make
would
the
be
run.
the Yavin Death Star fight, not the Endor Death Star fight, where you have the fleet battle as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of aspects to no space battles. Obviously,
I'm saving most of this till the end.
I hate to see this go. Hate to see it go. But in the same breath, from a small Star Wars fan perspective, the concept of using a couple snub fighters to take out Star Destroyers, not necessarily
accurate.
the best attack method when you have a cruiser that doesn't shoot.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a little bit of a sore spot. I think they're definitely aiming to have, obviously, the 60 frames per second and to make it look next gen, and they probably did have to make conscious decisions of what they were going to include and what they weren't. My personal opinion on the space combat, and people can disagree with me all they want, I think it did feel very similar. Because I think I remember in Battlefront 2 you would fly around and then you could board ships and stuff. I believe you could do that. So it felt very similar to me as a ground mission where you could run around on the ground and then jump into an X-Wing or what have you.
Now, if you want to take it as a throwback, the original Rogue Squadron game, which was all atmospheric battles, was still amazing flight combat.
Absolutely.
So, you can still do really good dogfighting missions without the space battle.
Yep. Next Bard Deluxe Edition will come with instant access to 5 in-game items. So if you buy the slightly more expensive version, you get some in-game items. That's pretty standard with almost any game now.
Yeah.
One of the features they are mentioning is that they are doing first person, but they are going to allow you to seamlessly transition to third person. That's probably good for a lot of people.
That was in the original 2 as well, which was very, very good.
We'll have playable heroes like Darth Vader and Boba Fett. We mentioned that earlier. It's going to be similar to when in Battlefront 2 where you could play as Anakin or you could play as Vader or anybody like that. They'll obviously have more powerful abilities and things like that. Couch co-op will not be available in all modes. They announced that it is going to be couch co-op in certain aspects, but obviously they can't do that in every aspect. Aiming for 60 frames per second. It's not going to be fully destructible environments, but it'll be destructible where appropriate. And will not use the battle log system, thank freaking God. I hate that system. It is the worst, most broken. How many times have I tried to log into Battlefield 3 or 4 and battle log can't connect you? Well, that's great. I didn't ask to use battle log. Anybody have any thoughts on any of those news pieces?
And
Sorry.
Yeah. So no thoughts. Gotcha.
I kind of threw mine in as we went.
Absolutely. Matt, do you have any thoughts? You didn't say a whole lot.
No,
I know you're
'cause
saving
I'm
some
it
for
till
the end.
end
For sure.
because
Absolutely.
that's the last question.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait until the year 2030 to play Star Citizen.
Okay. 2030.
That's optimistic.
So first bit of non-Battlefront news we have is right after the podcast that we did last week. The next day they announced Guitar Hero is coming back.
Yeah!
It's going to be called Guitar Hero Live, and they're taking a different approach as Rock Band. So to put it in perspective, they are doing the audience that you're playing with, it's going to be all first person. It's going to look like you're playing to a real crowd because they did a lot of filming of real crowds. If you're doing bad, the crowd is going to boo you. If you're doing good, the crowd is going to cheer for you. It's trying to give you that first person experience of being in a band.
I mean, their tagline is going to be everybody can be a rock star.
Basically. They have a new guitar,
$80,000.
which looks interesting. The problem that I see, and the one big problem, is that all of the Guitar Hero songs are not going to work. It's only going to be what comes with this game. Where Rock Band is taking the other approach, they're not really doing anything different, but you get all thousands of songs that you can already download, and you can just import them all over. They'll all be available, and that's a big problem, I think. Anybody have anything to interject on that?
Well, no, because what they've already charged you for in the past, they're going to charge you again for even higher cost.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, I think having the new instrument as well is a big deal because it means you can't, if somebody did manage to have space in their storage closet or whatever and they kept all that Rock Band stuff, they can use that again. Yep. But this guitar is completely different. Now, it's probably going to be much better build quality, as I've mentioned before, because Rock Band stuff was really cheap. But, like, I don't... I'm glad they're doing something different, I guess, as opposed to Rock Band, who's just saying we're back.
It's always the argument with these types of upgrades is, are you happy about the improvements, or are you upset that you don't get your old stuff? I
Yeah.
think getting rid of the songs doesn't make a lot of sense. I kind of get the new guitar because it's a new generation, it's a new product. You want to say, here's our new cool guitar. Now, if the guitar isn't like significantly better than the old one, if it's ultimately the same thing but in a new chassis and the buttons are in a different spot, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Remapped.
There's like
Wait.
2 buttons on
Yeah.
each one or something. It's a
Yeah,
little bit more complex.
It's more like
Yeah.
it's more like actually doing.
Like,
Well, I
yeah.
won't be able to play.
Yeah. I think that's another problem too. If they make it too complicated, then there's Rocksmith, which actually teaches you guitar, or you can play this plastic thing and put just as much time into playing it instead of learning real guitar.
Honestly, if they came out and said that you could plug your actual guitar in and play that way, I think that would be even more revolutionary.
I think we've all seen in Helldivers how good my hand-eye coordination in gaming is.
Yeah, I'm pretty all right
Not just
with hand-eye
that,
coordination.
not just
So, but I don't. I Rocksmith seemed intriguing to me at first, but I didn't end up getting it. We'll see what ends up happening. It's gonna obviously they're gonna compete head to head. You're gonna have lots of people playing Guitar Hero. I don't like the idea that it's all first person though, because then it's going to be distracting because the first person you're going to be
You're gonna
looking
get
at your
booed
drummer
so much.
and you're going to be looking at your bassist and maybe you're even like there's not going to be any singing and stuff, which oddly enough I actually enjoy doing in Rock Band. I actually do like doing the singing. So I think Rock Band, if I get any of them, is going to be the way to go.
Oh, Fender singer.
Although as I've mentioned
I'll
before, the biggest problem is that if you don't have the instruments again, you are going to have to buy a brand new $200 kit, which comes with the game and all the instruments and
No, it's gonna be that much.
That's probably what it's going to be, though, because you can need a drum kit, a guitar, and a microphone, and if they keep the keyboard, but I think they're getting rid of that. Anyway, next bit of news we got is Borderlands developer Matt Armstrong departs Gearbox, who is the creator of Borderlands. Obviously, I think he probably... my guess is he probably feels that Borderlands is probably already going in the right direction, and he probably wants to make something different.
Yeah.
As long as the humor and the wall breaking stays, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think you'll get that because, again, once a franchise has 1 or 2 titles, somebody can basically replicate that and things like that.
I mean, it's boring.
Yeah,
Let's not do that.
no, for sure. Sort of big news, actually. Heroes of the Storm got an official release date this today, actually, I think. Is when they
Yeah, it
announced
was today.
June 2nd, open beta begins May 19th because everything comes out May 19th. And so anybody will be able to play the open beta, and then it gets its official release date on June 2nd. I truly believe that that will eventually overtake League of Legends because they are characters that you believe in and you like, as opposed to just random lore that people have made up.
Well, League is very, hey, there's an enemy base over there. Go kill it. Oh, you're being stopped. Work as a team. Kill it. Where here, you have side objectives to do.
Yeah.
You have other things.
I really, really like the map where you have to go underground and kill all those.
Yeah,
I
well-
love that map because you could literally do nothing, and you could be killing heroes on the other team left and right, but if they go down and get the golem, you will lose every time because that golem will go right to their core and just destroy
I
them.
played the one with the pirate ship.
Yep.
Pirate ship's awesome.
Yep, the pirate ship one's
Pay
great.
coins, it shoots at the enemy base.
I love that hero killing is not the primary function. I love that there is no items to buy. I love that it's simple, where really there's no wrong decision. Obviously, there's some better ways to play, but there's not really a wrong decision. If you pick this one does more damage, or this one gives you more range on it, there's no wrong choice there when you get
depends
perks.
on what you want. Yeah, exactly.
So I do believe that will actually happen. I know, Matt, you've only tried it a couple times, and Josh, you haven't played it. Me and Sam have played quite a bit of it. We enjoy it.
Like it.
And again, the lore is backed by all these heroes from really, really, really popular franchises.
And just to think where it didn't just kind of throw you in here and say, yeah, fight these people. It actually give you a backstory on why you're
Tutorial
there
as soon as you
everything.
do it. You can walk through the tutorials, learn how to play.
Yeah.
It gives you a
I can't
story.
play anymore because I have to stay undefeated.
Yeah. Matt is 2-0. You're welcome.
Forever.
How's your back feeling?
it's
wasn't
hurting
him.
a little bit.
It was the other guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was. It wasn't me because every time somebody attacked you, I killed them. Yeah. Nova's awesome. Next bit of news on Xbox. If you're a gold member, 10% on Witcher 3 digital pre-order. First time console matches, Steam,
And you can preload
and
now.
you can preload it now.
Hasn't PS4 been 10% off on the pre-order?
Yeah, I think
since it's been available.
Yep.
This is the first time they've matched Steam.
They've
though.
actually given you 10% off of if you get the bundle that comes with the expansion pass as well, because that's only $80 instead of $90.
That's not
So that's pretty good. It's nice to see discounts on console.
Yes.
It's super frustrating that if you buy a digital version of a game that they don't give you a deal. They should at least give you the cost of shipping the damn item back.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. So it's good to see that's happening. Witcher 3 will be available simultaneously worldwide at 1 a.m. Central European time, which actually our time, it ends up being 8 the night before.
Yep.
So if you want to preload it digitally, you can do that. Obviously, you're not going to be able to buy it from a store until later on. I'll probably be getting that game. I think my strategy is going to be buying the game, playing that during the day, and then at night when you guys are all done work and stuff, I will probably
Going
jump
House
on
of
Destiny
Wolves.
and House of Wolves. Yeah. Free update for Helldivers called Turning Up the Heat is coming soon. Me and Matt watched the video ahead of time. It looked like you're going to get an upgradable mech that has 2 chain guns on it, some acid sprayers, some different items, a few different things.
Yep.
They don't really explain what's there. It just has a bunch of epic words that come up on the screen.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
2 chain
Two
guns.
chain guns.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I can kill 2 of my teammates
Yeah,
at once.
the same time.
This is amazing.
If you didn't watch our Let's Play, basically Helldivers, there's one thing you need to know about it before you play it. It's that everything in the game kills you. Everything. Pods dropping down to bring you supplies,
Your
shooting your
friends
enemies,
coming back to life.
standing too close to a friendly bomb, throwing a grenade by accident.
Throwing-
Everything
yeah.
kills you.
Throwing your mech off screen and it landing on you anyways.
Yeah.
In the first 3 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah.
Shooting a mech, shooting a bug with a rocket launcher who's 5 feet in front of you kills
That's
you.
pretty
Yep.
consistent in most games,
Yeah.
actually.
I know,
Yeah.
that's fair, but I wasn't expecting it.
Steam sets new policy that restricts users if you haven't spent money or carrying at least $5 in wallet. That basically, you know this a little bit better.
You can't vote on green lights. You can't add friends. You pretty much can't do anything. It's to protect against spam and everything.
Yep, that makes
It's
sense.
fair, just
I mean,
because
if you just have Steam to spam things and stuff, that's annoying.
if you have a Steam account and you're not taking advantage of the Steam Halloween sale, the Steam Christmas sale, the Steam summer sale, the Steam spring sale,
The
you're
Steam
an idiot.
sales in general,
They
yeah.
are the best sales. you
Again,
can
I've
get.
said this a million times, though. I just know way too many people that have 80 games and have played 5 because they're just, oh, this is $2, this is $2, this is $2, and they buy them all.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
Hey there,
exactly.
Sam.
Over 100 games.
I have 100 exact.
Yeah,
Oh,
perfect.
okay.
My buddy has 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ultra Street Fighter 4 will be available on PlayStation 4 in May. That's good for Street Fighter fans, I guess, if you wanted to just make the jump to console, to the newer console. Goat Simulator is now available on Xbox Marketplace and has a lot of bugs. Developers will only focus on the
Not
major ones.
surprised.
It had a lot of bugs in the PC version,
It was a
too.
bug game.
Yeah,
It was
that's the whole
designed to be
point.
Buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The game was a joke and it exploded. Everyone wanted to play it.
To Matt's belief, because he's dumb, Bethesda's E3 invite has been released with different characters from games in audience, but Fallout is missing. So let me explain to you why Matt's mad, because Fallout's missing and he's depressed. If they're announcing a new Fallout game, they're not going to give the invitation with a Fallout guy in there, because then you know what's coming.
But
That's annoying.
Dishonored's going to be Dishonored 2 is going to be
It's
announced.
Doom.
I think they will announce
Doom
this.
characters are there, and
Yep.
they're talking about that.
Okay, but Doom's been announced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
Okay.
it's technically supposed to come out last year. But
Dishonored's
Yeah.
been Dishonored's 2, I think, was confirmed. They just haven't shown
never been
anything yet.
confirmed.
So they're going to announce Dishonored 2, and they're going to announce Fallout 4. They have to. That's what's
Okay.
going to happen.
I-
Yeah.
Yes, Josh. It's not going to happen. I know. We have to keep saying it's not going to happen. So when it
This
does,
this is kind of like Half-Life 3. For every time somebody says it's going to happen, they add on an extra 3
You know what
years.
they're gonna do? They're gonna show up and say, "So, Fallout Skyrim 6."
I'm all right with that.
Six.
I'm
Elder
actually okay
Scrolls
with
6.
that.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
I want to shoot things.
I
not
think-
stab things.
I think that for hardcore gamers, Fallout seems to be the more popular franchise, but for money making,
Elder Scrolls
Elder
is
Scrolls
massive.
sort of trumps it because people are still buying Skyrim because of the add-ons and stuff. So, right,
Fallout,
I know, but it's a less.
Fallout with
Yeah.
dev kit so that people can mod it and make it epic on PC.
Next bit of news: we have Mass Effect 4 details allegedly leaked based on a survey.
Anything
They
cool?
showed concept art last E3 or the E3
it
before
actually
that.
doesn't sound bad in the rumors, but until they actually say anything,
They had me at Mako.
Obviously, I think Mass Effect 4 is probably inevitable for them since they're now done Dragon Age Inquisition. You're not going to see it for 2 or 3 years, so it's not going to matter.
Just don't make it Mass Effect Online.
Project Cars
It
goes
sounds like
gold.
No,
Project Cars goes gold after multiplayer delay.
I was telling
After
Josh.
multiple delays, not multiplayer delays.
I was telling Josh 15 minutes before the doors open and they were selling. Yeah, bring it back. We gotta fix it. We're pushing it back 3 months.
Yeah, Friday, May 6th is the release date. It'll release with 110 courses and 30 locations, which is actually pretty big.
Just take the zeros off the ends.
Yeah.
But I like how they didn't say the number of cars. With 3 cars to play.
Yeah.
1.
They've actually said there's over 100 cars, I think. And it's supposed to be one of the most detailed games ever. That's why they kept making the delays.
I hear
So
that.
was Drive Club.
Drive Club never
Happened.
yeah, we'll say happened. This is kind of oh man, this guy is ridiculous. Benjamin Beersley Gwynn beats Bloodborne with a rock band guitar.
Anybody who has not watched this YouTube video, go watch it. It's
No,
hilarious.
it's so
It's
that game is hard
hilarious.
enough with a controller. There's no way.
But you have to like tilt the guitar to make him move like left or right. It's really funny. He looks like he's actually playing rock band. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Executive Phil Harrison leaves Microsoft, which Matt, I think he said he's not technically leaving Microsoft.
he's doing a new startup himself, but it's working closely with Microsoft, and what this startup is doing only Microsoft knows about. So it sounds to me like it's just Microsoft is starting a new
Microsoft 1.0.
Microsoft wants somebody there.
yeah.
No, they're tired of using the HTC phone, so they want to make their own.
This is an interesting bit of news. 10 years after release, Postal 2 is getting an expansion.
Yeah.
I read that as Portal 2 the first time. I'm
Me
like,
too.
It hasn't been 10 years.
I was like, it hasn't been 10 years, and okay. I'm in. Yeah. Microsoft's E3 will focus on first-party content and a new IP, which is very exciting. That means we're going to get something new, which is everybody is wanting it. It means we'll get. This is my prediction.
Part of it's the rare game.
Hopefully, I really. Oh man, please announce Banjo-Kazooie.
It's not Banjo-Kazooie.
I know it's not, but I want it to be so badly.
Perfect Dark.
I will kill myself. Oh, Perfect Dark Zero was so bad.
Spit it out.
The initial one was great.
Nighttime Underdrive. No. Nathan Fillion and the entire crew will renew their roles in the Firefly Online game.
Where's my money?
Which they've been talking about.
I know
since-
people are they're really playing on this fan base of Firefly. I think the game is gonna be crap.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. It's gonna be so bad.
It's one of those games where, we haven't seen this recently, where they're going to spend the entire budget on voice actors and marketing.
Yeah.
Probably tell us there's a 10-year plan for it.
Yeah.
Sounds oddly familiar.
Yeah, I don't know what franchise, though.
Yeah.
I have high hopes based on my love of Firefly.
Last but not least,
Sounds like they have a good Destiny planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The last but not least, the day after we had the podcast last week, Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X, whatever you want to call it, was released, and Twitter sort of blew up with people that were a little bit angry.
A little bit?
Because
Just a little bit?
the one-button fatalities. I haven't played the game. I'm not a fighting game guy, so I probably never will. That being said, microtransactions allow you to buy the one-button fatalities. I don't know if this is unlockable.
You can unlock them as you progress through the story.
That's my
Probably.
understanding.
That's my understanding.
But you can also buy them. It's $5 for 30, and they run out. I thought when I first read this wasn't so bad because I thought you got all 30 characters or something. One button
it's-
fatalities unlocked. Nope, it's you can use it 30 times and then you can buy more. So that pissed a lot of people off.
Microtransactions are getting incredibly out of hand.
If you're gonna have microtransactions, the game needs to be free. That's my fair statement.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, games like that, I'm okay with microtransactions because they didn't charge me for the initial game, and I have League of Legends.
or
Even-
at least not
even things
AAA
like,
price.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
for the price. Like if it was
Like
MKX for like $20.
Yeah, like $20
Yeah.
plus
I think Killer
microtransactions.
Instinct does it the best because the game is free, I believe,
Yeah, the game's
and you buy characters. It's a very good model.
off topic. I just want to mention something. Did your keyboard have a spasm at microtransactions?
No, he was yelling at
Yeah,
the
was
time.
yelling.
That's why it's in caps locks.
Microtransactions.
Yep. Absolutely. We're going to move on to emails now.
All right.
A big shout out to Infamous Sheep who gave us lots of emails and questions in case we need to go back to the back. Yeah. Sam doesn't like you anymore
Sam
because you said his
Laundry
name
loves
wrong.
you.
I gotta go do some laundry now.
First off, we're going to talk about how to email us. You go to gaminglag.com and click contact us or gaminglag@hotmail.com. If you send us an email with a gaming-related question, we will possibly read them on the show. We also are going to do a draw roughly every 2 months. The next one will be at the end of May, which will include, which I have received now, just not bringing it with me, the
We'll just go to
replica
his house and
badge
seal it.
from Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. For all the S.H.I.E.L.D. employees.
Okay.
And yeah, so we have that. We have a copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag for Xbox One, and we have a little bit of Gaming Lag swag to send your way.
The game was exciting until the badge came around.
Yeah.
So grab a spark plug, grab his phone so he can't text Krista, and then we show up and say, "Hey, Krista, we need the badge. Mike sent us to come."
Crystal will end you both. Good luck.
Yeah, but I guess.
Krista would
Good
say,
luck.
"This
Good luck."
badge?
Yeah, this
Come and
badge,
get it.
come and get it, and you guys are going to be terrified. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
You're
luck."
gonna be interesting because you're gonna look and you're gonna see no hand or badge.
It's actually taken off at the shoulder, and you don't know how.
Anyway, so please send us those questions in. Also, a quick mention, Don Giovanni, I sent you an email as well as a Twitter message. You have not responded. If you do not respond, we don't send you your prize pack because, unfortunately, I need an address.
Redraw.
Yeah. So first one comes from Infamous Sheep, and it is simply, has a moment in any video game ever made you emotional? Now, I'm going to say quickly that he said cry. I know a few people haven't cried here, so I just said emotional, and we'll start with Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
StarCraft 1. I love you, Sarge. So touching.
Yeah.
And you also cried in Last of Us.
Oh, Last of Us.
Well, I mean, that's
Everyone does. If you don't, you are a terrible human being. You need to get tested.
This guy right here did not cry.
Yeah.
The beard soaked it up so fast.
Yeah. It just absorbed all the moisture. Yeah. You actually cry all the time? That's how your beard grows so fast. You shave it off, and then you go play a sad game.
I'm feeding my beard.
Yeah. He's like a chia pet. Yeah. That's great. Josh, anything for you other than Last of Us? That's kind of a given for a lot of people.
And being a dad of having two daughters.
Yeah.
That opening scene was.
Yeah.
That was the only portion, but it was enough.
There's
Yeah.
also a lot of why too. Why? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Never cry or anything like that, but for just sheer emotion, pretty well all of Mass Effect 3. There's so many good scenes in it.
Okay.
And the middle to end of Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
Had a lot of really good. They did a good job of that
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
emotion.
I'm a man. No.
Walking Dead, and I won't say anything about it because it'll be spoilers for Mike.
Yes, and I eventually I will be playing it. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you
Didn't
that.
cry, but
Yeah.
was emotionally moving. And then the party DLC for Mass Effect 3 was emotionally moving.
That
Okay.
was
Yeah.
That was definitely
You actually, everybody gets together
Oh,
at
is
the
this
Citadel.
the last one they released?
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
played
it was
that one.
really good.
I never
It was
got
really
that.
good.
That and when
sort of an homage to like say
yeah.
goodbye to that
Yeah.
those characters and stuff.
Say goodbye to the characters.
Like,
Say
it'll
goodbye
be-
to the game.
Oh.
The
Go.
the walking before you start the final mission, walking through, talking to everyone.
Yeah, that was.
That was
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Choked
absolutely.
up a bit.
Yeah.
but-
Well, when you have that much time invested in a franchise, I mean that's
Yeah, after
To pay
that
tribute
many
to it, yeah.
years
Yeah,
of knowing
absolutely.
these characters.
Blizzard recently announced that StarCraft 3 is going to be the last of the characters saga for
the last of the
Legacy of the
current
Hold it in.
characters. Yeah.
Just hold it in.
All those
Yep.
characters are not going to be in StarCraft 3.
If they make it. Yep.
Well, it's like spent a long time getting to know these people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
I
saying bye to,
believe
like, your
it's
best friend.
the end of StarCraft, Heart of the Swarm.
Oh.
I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Heart of the Swarm was it. You
Where
could
you,
tell it was leading you towards the end, basically. Like it looked like spoilers if you haven't played it, but it looked like Kerrigan was heading towards pretty much imminent doom
Yeah.
to try and save the
Imminent.
universe. Yeah.
She's gonna be gone. Jim Raynor's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
All of
There are some pretty beloved
and
characters
that's
there.
what I'm
So
worried. That's what I'm worried about the Diablo series. If they're gonna go somewhere else with that route entirely.
yeah. Well, I think I'd love for Diablo to have a much more compelling story.
Like his father, Diablos.
Oh my god.
And we're done.
All right. Other than the obvious stuff, I'm actually going to go non-obvious, and I put this in a blog post when I did my Titan Souls final thought. It's really silly, but for whatever reason, this made me emotional. I didn't cry or anything, but I did actually feel true guilt. So, for spoilers, in Titan Souls, you have to kill these Titans, and if anybody played Shadow of the Colossus, they understand that Shadow of the Colossus was a very selfish act. You have to save this one girl that you love, and you have to kill these really beautiful creatures that are walking around.
Mario.
Sure, but this was like more realism and stuff instead of somebody on shrooms.
Art department.
Right, exactly. So in Titan Souls, you have to kill these Titans. It doesn't really ever explain to you why, but you get this magic arrow, and so I find this hidden cave. I go up and I climb this mountain for like 2 or 3 minutes. And as I'm walking up, it's the only time pretty much text comes up that somebody's actually talking to you in the game, and it's telling you like, why are you doing this? Is it for knowledge or power? Like, this is just silly. Like, why do you have that abomination in your quiver? All this other stuff. And you get up, and I'm thinking, okay, this is a long freaking walk for me to die and then have to climb up again to face this boss. I get to the top of this mountain, and all it is an eye in the wall, basically, and I'm like, without hesitation, I'm like, oh, okay, shoot it, and it dies. That's all the boss was. Immediately felt so guilty because it couldn't do anything to me. It basically tried to guilt trip me the whole way up to make you not do it.
That was you. That was your character thinking that.
Yeah, but
That's even worse.
right, but I actually felt super guilty when I did that because I was like, well, he was minding his own business. He was like, please don't kill me. Like, basically, and I'm
Hey,
like,
I'm an
and
eye
without
on a wall.
hesitation, I'm like, nope,
Well, no,
dead.
no.
So I actually felt true guilt after that, to be honest.
Eyeballed him. He was going to sue you.
Yeah, I honestly set down the controller for just a quick second, and I was like, man, all these other ones were so hard, and they got me so angry and frustrated that as soon as I killed them, I jumped up with joy, but this one I just didn't. I was like, man, that guy couldn't do anything to me. He was just stuck in the wall. So I actually felt guilty about that. So that's to answer that question. Sorry about the long story, but it had to build up to it. But yes.
One lonely tear.
Yeah.
Single man.
Yeah. I recommend that game to anybody who wants a decent challenge, but I will not do the new unlock modes when you beat the game because I died 219 times playing the original campaign, and then the 2 modes that you unlock when you beat that game, no roll or sprint, so you can only move slowly. So you have to be incredibly perfect with your timing, and then Iron mode, which you only get 1 life. 18 Titans to beat the game with 1 life. Nope. I died 10 times probably doing the frickin' Let's Play I did today. And that's after I'd already beaten it and knew what to do. So yeah.
Shoot the eye. Doesn't
Thank
sound
you
that
very
hard.
much, Infamous Sheep.
Not always shoot the eye.
Yeah, it's not always that, trust me. You have to make impossible shots. Like, that game forces you to stand there while a fist is about to crush your guy and make the shot before, because as soon as you kill it, like, everything stops. But Matt can attest to this, you have to stand there and almost die every time.
You're gonna die. No,
Yeah.
I got it this time. Splat.
Yeah.
You didn't get it.
Nope.
So basically, it means that this guy, he's an Olympic front runner for archery. Then,
Except he's only got 1 arrow, and you have to go pick it up if you shoot it.
That's all it is. He just needs to hit 1 bullseye through the arrow of another person.
Yeah, he's Robin Hood. That's the character in the story, sure. Thank you very much, Infamous Sheep, for sending that in. And our last email, which we'll go into sort of what we're going to talk about, I guess, to end the show, is from John Dickinson. Thank you very much.
Why I didn't talk before.
He's been a massive supporter of the show. I would like to hear each host's excitement level for Star Wars Battlefront. Also, is there anything you've heard about the game that you are disappointed about? Personally, I don't like that there is no aim down the sight and allowing players to go into third-person view, but I don't mind that there will not be a single-player campaign. So we'll do that, and then we'll do what our most excited point of the game, too, like what we're most excited about. So anybody want to chime in? Matt, since you haven't talked yet, what are you...
I talked. I just refused to talk in the top part because
I know,
knew
for
we were
sure.
gonna do it down
So
below.
what is your excitement level for Star Wars Battlefront, and then what are you most disappointed about?
Most disappointed about is actually I wanted to fight against the Death Star, so my biggest disappointment would be that.
Okay.
No space battles. Most excited about, though, is going to be using my Destiny Titan inside the game when I pop the bubble.
Okay.
In
Yep.
the trailer.
I
there's a
know.
bubble, so.
There's a stormtrooper that can do that.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, most excited about is actually going to be the coach co-op and trying it that way. It seems like it's only going to be 2 people coach co-op, but we'll see about
that's
that.
sort of standard. I do like the idea of couch co-op. It's nice if you have a friend over and they don't have the game, they can try it out. Love that stuff. And that means it'll work with SharePlay on PlayStation, which is great. Yeah. Josh, you want to talk about what's your excitement level, Matt? Or like, we'll do this on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being you cannot wait for this game. Take my money. I'll pay double.
6.
Okay. Fair number. Josh?
Despite all of my gripe with it, I am pre-ordering it.
Yep.
I think we all know that about me.
I think all of us here will pre-order regardless of what
I'm
happens.
really excited about it. I'd give it a 10.
Okay.
Despite all of my misgivings.
You're probably the biggest Star Wars fan at the table, though. So yeah.
That probably goes without
Yep,
saying.
That's
given.
pretty much a fair statement. Okay. So what are you least excited about, Josh, that they've already confirmed?
I'm honestly the least excited about...
Or disappointed about?
I'm most disappointed about No Galactic Conquest.
Okay.
That was a fantastic mode. Galactic Conquest was just an insanely fun way offline to spend a good amount of time playing the game. I'm disappointed about no campaign, but to be honest, with the style of game, even the campaign in Battlefront 2, it was a series of the same style of missions. So I can live without that, but the Galactic Conquest was a ridiculous amount of fun.
Right on.
And I'm sorry to see it go.
Yep.
I'm honestly most excited about just the game being back.
Having another one.
I think I'm worried about how they introduce vehicles into main battles.
Yeah.
The upgrade system or whatever it is to put them in.
Yeah.
But if it's done well, then I'm going to be insanely excited to have a ground battle where you've got ships flying overhead, blowing each other up. I'm basically terrified it's going to be Star Wars Battlefield.
Yeah.
And excited if they don't do it.
Hence the name of the podcast. Because obviously it is DICE doing it. I'll go next and we'll end with Sam. That cool with you, man? Sure. My excitement level's probably, I would say 8. I'm not going to go 10 because there are some things that concern me anytime DICE is part of it. I know they're a AAA developer. I know they're extremely talented. Bad Company 2 was one of my favorite games.
Being a AAA developer these days is
not
kind of a
good.
bad thing.
So that reduces, because it is Star Wars. I am a massive Star Wars fan. I actually watched Star Wars just out of all the excitement from the celebration, and my fiance watched it in full in its entirety for the first time, episode 4. But I have to go to an 8 instead of a 10 because of how worried I am. EA has their name on it.
They're not going to do it to us. They're not going to
I
do it to
know
us. They're not
you
going
want
do
it to be
us.
good. What I'm most disappointed about is going to be the same as Matt's, because I said this before we even started recording, or while we were recording, because I'm an idiot. Is the Death Star thing again? That is like my favorite space battle ever. I wish
They're going to consider it a planet.
I know.
They're going to consider it a planet.
So because it is a small moon, Josh has this theory that maybe they'll consider the Death Star
they're not
an
doing
actual
it.
planet. I would really love that sort of idea that you had to do these objectives while you're doing space combat with the Death Star, maybe the Death Star shooting at things. And then as you complete these objectives, then you can start your run down the whatever you want to call it, the canyon that they have there.
The trench?
The trench that they have along the Death Star. Really wish I had that. What I'm most excited about, though, is that they did allow first and third person. I think that was traditional with Battlefront games.
It's very traditional.
But
I'm
you
glad
had
they
that
did get rid
worry.
of it.
Yeah, but you had that worry because it was going to be DICE, that it was all going to be first person, much like Battlefield, because I don't think I'm going to want to fly an X-Wing first person. I'll do it a couple of times just because it's cool. But
crash and burn.
crash and burn. But I really love Rogue Squadron, and I like that I'm going to be able to go to third person for that and play it similar to it.
And for anybody who played Rogue Squadron, you played in the cockpit because you're like, I'm flying the plane.
Yeah.
And then you die a bunch. And then you go, all
And
right,
then you
now
go,
I'm back
okay,
in third
I'm back
person.
in, because then I can see the caverns and how close my wings are to the side of this mountain.
That's where the TIE fighter that's killing me is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad about that, but I did prefer playing the infantry as first person because it was much easier to shoot things and things like that. But yeah, I think it'll be good as long as they do it right. It looks gorgeous. So
I believe in living in La La Land for this right now, and naivety is kind of my...
That's your, and if all else fails, cry.
Yeah,
Cries
so much crying. That's when I get emotional.
I know you're the most probably disappointed with all the announcements. So
Excitement level 2.
okay,
You got a whole 2 out of it, did you?
Whole 2. And if you guys need me, I'll be playing the Battlefront early access, Battlefield 4. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sam, there are so many things that are coming out of your mouth that's breaking my naivety.
Never mind, let me bring it back. Battlefield 3 because there's too much destructibility in Battlefield 4.
Breaking
There
my
won't be any.
naivety.
Yeah.
Just, I'm
Anyway, it does suck. So what are you? What was the one thing you were most disappointed about, so that the viewers and listeners can know?
done. So much
The game?
potential.
Okay. So just in general,
Just
you
so
think?
much potential for an awesome title, for an awesome, fun experience for everyone. Not having the space battles, I understand, but there are so many different things they can do, and this is not the first time that DICE has disappointed me with the amount of potential they have with the game and not doing it.
Okay. That's a fair statement.
Giant open boat warfare in Battlefield would have been awesome. In,
Yeah.
like, some maps. They did try to do it, but they had to put islands and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Just boats. Just
It'd be
water
awesome
and
if you had
boats.
yeah, I
That's
agree with
it.
that.
And then the thing that I wanted to is just, can you imagine you're in this giant air hole? Then Battlefield's all about the level. DICE is all about the levolution and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You're in the thing. You hear a countdown chime for about 10 seconds. That happens. Boom! The airlock vents. If you're not in a ship, you're sucked out into space. You're dead. Like, just
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
like
they can
that. Just
do-
those little tiny things like that would be.
I think the space battle did add something to it. I did say that it sort of feels the same because you are flying in space. The difference is that you start in a ship as opposed to
Well, you don't always have to. That's why you can have the space battles where you have either the Empire's battle cruiser or the Rebels battle cruiser. One
Star
side
Destroyer
starts-
or Mon Calamari Cruiser?
doesn't matter. That's not the point. But the point being that the opposing team is in just their fighters.
yeah.
You fly into that as a giant squad of fighters, and then you can actually get out of your.
No,
I
I'm
feel an insider here that I didn't get.
no. It's just he's mad that you didn't know what they're called because
don't
he's the
give a
biggest
shit.
nerd on the planet.
I am not the biggest.
No, that's you're one of the biggest Star Wars nerds. Maybe not quite that level, but anyway,
A ship
I-
that makes things go boom. That's all you need to know.
I just
To make
I am
things
very
go boom
excited
at
to
a
see the
different level.
first-person view of certain vehicles. I'll actually
Yeah.
add that. So AT-ATs, they were in the trailer. I'm assuming you're going to be able to drive one.
Well, they're
Very
on
ex-
land.
You'd think,
Yeah.
but wait.
So they may add this stuff as DLC. This is a common theme. As long as they give us a huge selection of multiplayer maps and battles for structured combat, and then add it for DLC, I'm fine. But if they charge me $70 and it's only 10 maps or something, that feels a bit
No,
weak.
it'll be $70, and then after that you have to go get Battlefront Premium for $70 again, and then you get the 5 DLCs over the next course of the 12 years.
They may add that
yeah.
stuff later, though. Like the
Something.
stuff you're talking about, they might add like structured missions and stuff that offer details.
What I don't want them to
knows?
do is to be DICE.
Yeah.
And like Battlefront was great because anybody could pick it up and start playing and have a good time with
Yep.
it and not have terrible characters and not have terrible weapons. Like you could pick it up at any given time. And yes, if you did really good, you could get like the upgraded blaster, which was amazing. But every character started good.
Yeah.
Wasn't there different classes in the original?
There was different classes.
Different classes.
Not having different classes in this bothers me. Yes, you may be able to switch out your guns, but what is this going to end up being? Another Call
It
of
just
Duty clone?
no. It just means that you're not going to have
cars?
loadouts. It's going to mean that everybody starts similar, which actually I'm okay with. I don't necessarily want a million different loadouts because that means okay, I'm choosing the regular blaster. If I do really well, I'll upgrade that blaster. But if I go into a fight and there's a million different loadouts and this person just picks rockets because it
Yeah,
just
but do we want another Halo where the rockets over there, everyone fight for the rockets for
No,
15
I don't
minutes or
want
something.
that, and I
that's
don't-
what I don't want them to do.
I don't
because
think they're going to
you
though.
don't think
You're
those drops of weapons on the ground.
Nope. I think you're gonna have vehicles. What I'd actually like it. This is gonna be a weird comparison. I want it to be like a MOBA in that sense, where everybody starts weak and they grow and level up and get better together based on their skill level and how they're doing,
You'd rather be like Heroes of the Storm, not like League.
or Heroes of the Storm as well, because
You want
You
the
sort of
team-
progress as you
want
go.
The team to level up, not.
I would prefer it if it was
players.
team based as
Yes.
opposed to. So that means that
would
if you're doing really well but everybody else sucks, you're still suck. I'd rather as a team it collectively work. I hope that it's that instant satisfaction of we're doing really well. Now we can order a I don't know what they're called. You might know, Josh, but those big walker tanks that the rebels have and stuff with the big cannons on them on the top.
It's a long, drawn-out name. We
Yeah.
won't get into it. It's a lot of letters and dashes.
Okay, so if I like the like kill streaks and stuff are going to be in it, I just want everybody to start the same. I think that you should start with a blaster and maybe a variation of that. Like you can have a hand blaster and that allows you to carry an extra grenade or one rocket launcher or something like that, or something like that.
This is not a game that I'll be holding my breath for.
I kind of
Hopefully it proves you wrong. Hopefully.
I kind of expected them to get rid of classes for it, simply because one of the drawbacks of the old Battlefront games is the race that you played as determined what loadout you were. Like the classes were based on race, and that kind of sucked. Like if you wanted to play as a Wookiee, you had to be the heavy character. Like you couldn't do anything else. And
like if they that's actually a good point, because if they allow you to play as the Wookiee and you start with this, you just change your character skin. That's really cool, because then you can pick either a rebel or a stormtrooper or whatever. Well, depending on what side. Yeah. But you get the same anyway. I agree with what you're saying wholeheartedly, Sam. I do think they have a really, really big chance of dropping the ball massively.
They have a lot to live up to.
Yes, because DICE was the perfect people to take this over. They are
until they put out Battlefield 4.
Right, so everybody's super worried about it, right?
The Destiny announcements that have let me down with this on top of it.
There's only so much heartache a kid can take.
Like my heart is broken. It's bleeding.
Yep. So I think that's it. We'll do some plugs. That was, I think, a pretty good show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am @Chalices. If you want to follow Matt,
@ManW_the_Beard.
If you want to follow Sam,
Mr. Gloomendale.
And if you want to follow Josh,
@JoeQuiggle.
And if you want to follow us as a collective group, we are @GamingLag. That is 2 G's in lag. Please support gamers. Go and subscribe to them. Use #GamerSupportGamers if you are a member, so that we can retweet your stuff. Please support Extra Life. Please support our swag shop. It's really the only revenue that we have generating at the moment. Again, for anybody local, we are going to be at the Fredericton Gaming Expo. So if you wanted to come and hang out, we're going to have some prizes that are going to be donated as well to the main thing, I guess. But we're going to have a booth there, so you can come and hang out and talk to us. Am I missing anything?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Gaming Lag out.